Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso and all of Africa, my name is Ibrahim Traore, President of Burkina Faso. Listen to me today with open hearts and strong spirits. I have not come to speak of dreams, but of a reality we are building with our own hands. They told us Africa could not rise without their money, their machines, their permission. But look at us now. With bottles they threw away, with plastic they called garbage, with water containers they forgot in the dust. We are building homes for our people. Homes, not palaces for the rich, not hotels for foreigners, but homes for the poor, the forgotten, the widows, the orphans, the workers who kept this land alive when no one cared. For too long, they told us we are beggars. For too long, they made us believe our future depends on their aid, their loans, their crumbs. But Africa is not poor. We are only chained by the lies of those who fear our strength. If they can build skyscrapers with steel, we can build houses with the bottles they wasted. If they can build empires with our stolen gold, we can build dignity with the materials of our own land. This is not just construction. This is a revolution. Every wall we raise with recycled bottles is a wall against colonial dependency. Every roof we place over a child's head is a shield against humiliation. Every home we build is proof that Africa does not need permission to live with dignity. When the colonizer came, he told us to forget our hands, our intelligence, our unity. He told us only his way was the way. Yet today we are proving him wrong, with courage, creativity, and the spirit of our ancestors burning in our blood. We are proving that Africa creates, Africa builds, Africa rises. This is why they fear us. Not because of our weakness, but because of our strength. They fear an Africa that can feed itself, house itself, defend itself, and stand tall without their chains. And that Africa is here in Burkina Faso, in the villages where our people come together to mold, to build, to live like free men and women. This is only the beginning. A bottle may be small, but together they form a house. A village may be small, but together we form a nation. And nations together will form a new Africa, proud and unbreakable. We do not wait for miracles, we are the miracle. We do not beg for charity, we are the builders of our destiny. And to the world watching us, understand this: what you see here is not poverty. It is innovation, defiance, and freedom taking shape brick by brick, bottle by bottle, home by home. To every poor man, to every mother who prays for shelter, to every child who sleeps under the open sky, your day has come. These homes are not gifts. They are your right. The right of every human being to live with dignity, without fear of rain, without fear of cold nights, without fear of being forgotten. And to those who still cling to the old chains of colonialism, hear me well, you cannot stop this movement. You cannot stop a people who have awakened. You cannot stop the fire of justice once it burns in the hearts of the oppressed. We are not here to copy the West. We are here to lead Africa into a new era, where nothing is wasted, where everything is transformed, where every resource, even a bottle thrown in the street, becomes a weapon of dignity in our struggle for liberation. This is what true independence looks like. Not just flags, not just speeches, but food in stomachs, roofs over heads, pride in the hearts of the people. And we will not stop until every Burkina, every African can say, I am home. I am free. I am no one's slave. So let us build not only homes of bottles, but homes of unity, courage, and justice. Let us raise a generation that sees opportunity where others see garbage, that sees strength where others see weakness. Let us teach our children that the destiny of Africa is not written in Paris, in Washington, or in London. It is written here, in our hearts, in our hands, and in the soil of our motherland. It is written here in our soil, with our hands, with our courage. Stand with me, my brothers and sisters. Build with me, believe with me. For when Africa believes in itself, nothing can stand in our way. Homes from bottles, freedom from chains, dignity from the dust. That is our revolution. That is our victory. And the world will remember that it started here, in Burkina Faso, with a people who refused to bow and a nation that chose to rise. Africa does not need permission from foreign powers to rise. Even discarded bottles can become symbols of independence and dignity. They told us Africa could not stand without their loans, their machines, their so-called aid. But look at us now. We are proving that even what they throw away can become the foundation of a new future. A bottle that once lay forgotten in the dust is now a brick of hope, a wall of strength, a roof of dignity for the poor and the needy. This is the Africa they fear. Not because we are weak, but because we are powerful when we believe in ourselves. If they can build skyscrapers with steel, we can build homes with bottles. If they can build empires with our stolen gold, we can build dignity with the materials they called garbage. We are showing the world that no one decides our destiny except us. Every bottle lifted by the hands of our people is a declaration that Africa is not begging, Africa is not waiting, Africa is creating. We do not need their permission, their approval, or their applause. What we need is the courage to trust our own strength and the unity to transform little things into great victories. And today, with these recycled homes, we are turning waste into a weapon of freedom and proving that Africa has always carried the power to rise within itself. Building homes with recycled bottles is not charity. It is a revolution that gives shelter and pride to the poor and oppressed. These homes are not gifts handed down like crumbs from the tables of the rich. They are a right, a symbol of justice carved out of what the world once called useless. Every wall raised with these bottles is a wall against humiliation. Every roof laid above a child's head is a shield against despair. To every mother who prays for her children to sleep safe from the cold, to every father who works yet cannot afford shelter, this is not pity, it is dignity. We are saying to the forgotten, to the widows, to the workers who carried this land when no one cared, that your suffering will not be ignored. A house made from bottles is not small. It is a monument of defiance, a message that Africa will not let its people live without dignity. This is why it is revolutionary, because it tears down the lie that survival depends on foreign charity. It reminds us that we have everything we need within ourselves to provide for our people. It tells the poor man that he is not invisible, that his struggle has meaning, that his nation stands with him. And when the poor rise with dignity, when the oppressed find shelter built by their own brothers and sisters, that is when a nation becomes unshakable. That is when freedom takes root in the hearts of its people. Every house built is a rejection of colonial dependency and proof that Africa creates, builds, and rises with its own hands. When we take what others call waste and turn it into shelter for our people, we are declaring to the world that Africa will no longer bow. Each wall built from bottles is more than protection from rain and sun. It is a message carved in courage, a statement that we will not be defined by the chains of yesterday. For too long, we were told that without their money, without their guidance, without their permission, we could do nothing. Yet here we stand, raising homes from the ground with our own strength, showing that our destiny is not in their hands but in ours. Every recycled bottle placed into the earth is a weapon against humiliation. Every roof raised above a family is a strike against the old order of dependency. This is how true revolutions are born, not always in fire and blood, but in the quiet, unstoppable power of people who believe in their own hands, their own minds, their own future. When a poor man stands before his house and says, "This was built by us, for us," that is the sound of a nation awakening. That moment is freedom. And when a nation realizes it can provide dignity without asking anyone for permission, that nation will never kneel again. This movement shows the world that Africa is not poor. It is innovative, courageous, and unbreakable in spirit. They said our land was dry, our people were weak, our future was hopeless. Yet with every bottle we lift, with every home we raise, we prove them wrong. Poverty is not the absence of wealth. It is the absence of freedom, the absence of vision, the chains of lies that convince us we cannot. But here we stand, transforming garbage into dignity, transforming what was forgotten into something eternal. This is the Africa that cannot be silenced, the Africa that turns pain into power, the Africa that has endured centuries of oppression, yet still stands with its head high. We are not beggars asking for charity. We are innovators crafting solutions with our own hands. We are not weak victims waiting for saviors. We are warriors of resilience, refusing to be broken. Let the world watch us. Let them doubt. Let them mock. Because soon they will see that what they called weakness was always our greatest strength. Our courage, our unity, our power to rise from nothing and create everything. That is what makes us unbreakable. And as long as that spirit lives within us, no empire, no colonizer, no power on earth will ever defeat Africa again. True independence means food, shelter, and dignity for every citizen. Not empty speeches, not flags controlled by outsiders. A nation cannot call itself free while its children sleep under open skies, while its mothers cry for bread, while its people live humiliated, waiting for aid from those who once enslaved them. Independence is not a ceremony, not a song, not a piece of cloth raised in the air. It is the daily reality of justice and dignity. What good is a flag if a man bows his head in hunger? What good are speeches if a woman still suffers without shelter? Real freedom must be felt. In the stomach, in the home, in the heart of every citizen. That is why we build with our own hands, why we transform what others call waste into houses of pride. Because independence without dignity is just another chain. When a family can sit together in their home, safe from the rain and the cold. When a child can dream without fear of being forgotten. When a poor man knows his country will not abandon him. Then, and only then, can we say we are truly free. Independence is not measured by the approval of outsiders. It is measured by the strength of our people and the dignity of our nation. The future of Africa will be written by its own people, by those who turn weakness into strength and waste into weapons of liberation. No foreign hand will dictate our destiny. No empire will decide our path. The ink of our future is in the sweat of our workers and the courage of our youth. They want us to believe we are powerless, that without their guidance we will remain in the dark. But Africa has always carried its own light. A bottle discarded on the street may seem like nothing, but when placed in the hands of a free people, it becomes a brick of resistance, a shield of dignity, a tool of creation. What others call garbage, we call possibility. What others call weakness, we transform into unshakable strength. This is how nations rise, not by waiting for saviors, but by becoming their own saviors. Our future is not a copy of the West. Our future is Africa's own design, born from our soil, our minds, and our hands. We will teach our children that no one outside will write their story, that their history and destiny are carved in the courage of their ancestors and the fire of their own will. And when Africa fully believes this truth, no colonizer, no outsider, no power on earth will ever again hold the pen to write our fate.